Hey, it's Tim here, coach of men who want more, and today's message is on if you're fucking miserable. So let me give you a look here. It's pretty miserable here in Perth, Western Australia today on this wintry day. It's raining, it's nice and grey, so I'm going to find a little bit of shade so I don't get saturated. But this message comes to me and hopefully serves you today, because there are times in our life where we're miserable. Maybe you're going through that time right now. You're pretty fucking miserable. And I've been there plenty of times. I'm going to tell you a quick story shortly, but where are you right now in your life? Are you very miserable? Are you finding it hard to get out of bed? You're finding it a lot of challenge, a lot of adversity? Where are you, brother? Maybe it's you're in a financial hole, or your business or your job just isn't fulfilling and it's not going the way that you want. Maybe it's in your relationships with your family, with your friends, with your partner. It's just a lot of pain there and you don't know what the future holds. Maybe it's just within yourself. You're waking up and you're just feeling fucking miserable. And I remember I was 20 years old. I was living in Sydney, Australia. I was forging my rugby league career, and I was seeing a lovely girl at the time. And I remember I had no idea about relationship at that point in time, and hadn't learned how to actually relate to others very well at all, because all my aspirations and dreams are just on my football career. But for whatever reason, she saw something in me, and we started dating, and we were dating for a few months. And I remember I was sitting on my bed one day, and I had one of those grey Nokia phones, and it was before all this smartphone, great technology. And I remember sitting there, and I was hunched over, and we were just texting back and forth, meeting up, and I'd speak to her most days, and we'd just have conversation. And she said to me one day, she said, "Why are you always so miserable?" And it hit me, and I was like, I didn't think I was. And that was the first time that I actually thought about, and it was an outside stimulus, obviously her talking to me, questioning me and challenging me on being miserable. So this message comes to you on, are you miserable? And more importantly, if you are, it's okay. I like to say it's okay to go there being the emotion, whether it's misery, whether it's overwhelm, overthinking, any of your fears, stress, frustration, however they show up for you. It's okay to go there, but don't stay there. Do not fucking stay there. You owe it to yourself first and foremost, and for those in your life that you care about, to move through that misery. And this hit me like a ton of bricks. She said, "Why are you always so miserable?" And then shortly after, she broke up with me. And it was the first sort of time that I'd been broken up with, and it was like, oh, this doesn't feel great. And I gave myself a bit of a gut check and thought, well, I am miserable. Or when I relate to that person, I'm miserable. Maybe in your life, in your business or in your job, or when you're having a great day, you're not miserable. But then you're miserable to somebody in your life. Maybe it's your wife or your spouse or your partner. Maybe it's your kids. Maybe it's somebody at work. Maybe it's a buddy or a mate. Who is it that you may be miserable around? That's a question I've got for you. And are you just being miserable? And here's the thing, are you getting stuck, and are you indulging in your problems, your struggles, your challenges and your misery? Because it meets your needs. My challenge to you is find better ways to meet your needs. You don't need to be miserable to get the attention anymore. Maybe that was a strategy as a kid. Probably was one of mine. That's why I carried that pattern on through into my early adulthood. And if I'm totally honest, over the last few years, I've been really conscious of this. Am I indulging in my misery? Playing the victim? Thinking that it's not my fault and that it's their fault, or it's not my fault, it's life's fault, or it's the circumstances, or it's the environment, or it's the economics. Bullshit. It isn't. It's you choosing, and me choosing at that time, to stay in my misery, not breaking through, not having the courage and not having maybe the tools to break through that misery and go the next level and go, no more. I'm more committed to my happiness, I'm more committed to my joy, I'm more committed to my dreams, my visions, how I want to be in this world than my misery and my problems. And I look back and I thank that girlfriend at the time, because she shifted my pattern. She helped shift that pattern, and then I did the rest. She called me out on my misery. So maybe this message goes out to you, and I'm calling you out on your misery. Lungu, thank you for jumping on. Appreciate your support, guys. If you've got a question in and around misery and how to break through on that, make sure you comment below. Talking in and around when you're fucking miserable. What to do, you need to make a choice. You need to make a choice that, hey, I will go there if need be. I will go there, but I won't stay there. So not to suppress your misery and how you feel, but to move through that, to write it out, to think about it, to meditate, to talk to somebody, do whatever you need to move through that misery and commit to your happiness. Commit to more fulfillment. Commit to more meaning in your life. Commit to living an extraordinary life rather than living in your misery, because you deserve more. Yes, you have problems and struggles and challenges in your life just like I do. But will you commit to move through those and not stay in the misery? Or will you stay there and keep repeating the same fucking patterns, which are disempowering to you and disappearing to your life? That's my message to you. Hey Annalise, thanks for jumping on late here talking about misery. Hopefully you catch the replay. And if you are watching on the replay, thank you so much. Much gratitude to you, because your misery is your choice despite the outside circumstances, whatever you're going through. I know sometimes it's hard to hear. It was hard to hear back then when I was 20 years old. My girlfriend at the time called me out of my misery. It was very hard to hear. I didn't think it. I had my limiting beliefs. But then in hindsight, I look back and I thank her, because at the time, she called me out of my bullshit and it made me a better man, made me a better partner, it made me a better person. So let me call you out on your misery. It's okay to go there, but don't stay there. Enjoy the rest of your day, whether you're watching. Kuno, thanks for jumping on late. Make sure you grab the replay. And just make a choice, guys. Make a choice today, right now, that no more will you stay addicted and indulge in your problems and your misery, but instead you'll commit to your happiness and your joy. That's my message to you today. Have an incredible day wherever you're watching. Much gratitude. Share this message, like this message, do all those wonderful things, and it's your time to step into your strength and to be the best man you can be.